The Court of Appeal in Abuja earlier this week set aside the judgment of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, which restrained Julius, Abure and two others from parading themselves as national officers of the party. Justice Hamza Wazu, while ruling on an ex parte application on April 5th, 2023, restrained Abure, Farouk Ibrahim, Clement Ojukwu and Oluchi Opara from acting as national officers of Labour Party. Delivering the lead judgment on Wednesday, Justice Haman Barka held that the High Court was wrong to have assumed jurisdiction on the matter and also awarded the sum of 1 million naira in favor of the appellants, Dr. Abayomi Arabambi. He is the Factional National Publicity Secretary of Labour Party. He is here now to discuss what this development means for his own faction of the party, and the possible reconciliation and on what conditions. Good to have you with us, Doctor, as always.
Thank you for having me.
Very good.
Good afternoon, ma.
So how would you read through this narrative by the Court of Appeal and what are the likely implications here?
Well, thank you very much. As far as we are concerned, we will need to make it very clear to the judges that sat on Wednesday that even before the judgment was read, Tanko Yunusa, the purported spokesperson of Betta Edu, was on another TV channel and he said that the appeal will be upheld against us. And 4 hours after, that appeal was upheld. It's in the news, we have the video, it was on the national TV, and he boasted that judgment will be upheld, and the FCT restraining order will be vacated. How we got to know about that, we do not know, but I knew it was on the national television when he said that. Now, but number 2, that judgment failed integrity test, and we will be petitioning the President of the Court of Appeal, because for the first time in Nigeria, we have seen where judges will discountenance a document from their fellow court. What do I mean by that? The matter before them was about 2 things. 1, whether in lieu of the police investigative report done by the former IG and prosecuted by the present IGP with DIG, Tunde Kumo, retired now, whether in view of that they established a prima facie case against Abure for forging the seal of the judge of FCTI court, which we wrote to them on 8 November 2022, and they reply us that the document were forged by Lawa Fomilola, Director Commissioner for Oath. Now, Abure did 3 things here. The seal of the judge was forged, signature of the judge was forged, treasury single account was forged, and also the signature of the Commissioner for Oath. Nigeria can see this is the response of the FCT High Court of a fellow judge. When we presented this...
But if I may comment, was that also taken into account?
Yes.
Before this judgment
yes,
was
of course.
given?
No, this was what we filed and the police investigation report. This one. This is the police investigation report that was attested to by the court. We have the CTC of this one, and we also have the CTC of the Federal High Court. They certified this document for us. These 2 documents were what we presented to the FCT High Court. And the man now said, in view of this, you need to just step aside. They didn't remove him as national chairman. Step aside. Because you can't be a judge in your own case. But surprisingly yesterday, Appeal Court has legalized forgery in Nigeria. Because it is a shame. That's why I said we are going to petition the President of the Court of Appeal. We will petition President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We are going to petition the Attorney General and the Nigerian and the NJC. All those judges need to retire. You have a document before you, a document of a fellow judge that was forged, and they took their hands away from it. You said a judge whose signature was forged cannot assume jurisdiction. What a country, for God's sake. They have this before them, and all of them, they close their eyes against it. This was the receipt that we paid. This is what Abure forged on his own. How could a man, a lawyer, generate treasury single account receipt on his own. He now presented that to INEC. INEC had the substitution. This was what we now wrote to INEC. INEC gave us what he forged. We now present to the court, and the court now said, no, this document is not from us, it's from forged. We now go to the court.
Arabambi, we will let the court decide that. You know, it's yes, it's.
No, it's a judgment that has been granted, but we need to let Nigeria know what we have before them and the judgment they delivered.
And how they delivered it. Okay, fine. So we know that Mr. Abure has also been mired with some controversial issues bordering on financial impropriety. Which he has tried to, exonerate himself on that. But how is all of this affecting public perception about Labour Party from a leadership perspective? Okay, we're talking about the issue of, okay, fine, if it were possible to have him, while all of this is going on, just give room for proper investigation to take its effect and, allow clear heads into this matter, as it were.
Well, he may be looking for reconciliation, but we don't have any business with Abure as it is. That is why we have filed appeal. Immediately they deliver that judgment, and we have also filed motion for stay of execution of that judgment before the Supreme Court. You could see I came here now with document, not that somebody that will come and say, oh, we have done this. So that judgment cannot be executed because we have filed motion for stay of execution. Now, for anybody to think there could be peace in Labour Party, there are factors, mitigating against it. Right from day one, we have told Nigerians that we have leadership that have a biased mind against some ethnic region in Labour Party. Ever since we have been talking about this, it was only when Olusegun Opara, blew the whistle that you see a presidential candidate coming out to say, oh, Abure, you to go and give them statement of account. It is not only that we've been saying it. But in Labour Party of today, the obedience with Peter Obi, because it is not all of them, the obedience with Peter Obi, including the governor of Abia State, including Peter Obi and Abure, if you are not one of their own, you are on your own. No matter what happens, they will never be interested in whatever that happened in Labour Party. Even this matter, they were the ones sponsoring it against us. I am even shocked that Governor Alesoti will, be playing his rate behind Abure despite all this. All of them were aware about what happens. All our money that was stolen.
But you don't actually know that for sure, that he's actually in support of Mr.
Abure. No. He came to the Bad Secretariat to say, Abure, I am going to support this in the news, that I am going to give you backing against Papa. But that is not even the business. The issue now is that we must be conscious of our morality. Because when you have a logo hook in your eyes, I think you need to take that one off before you now help someone to take the speck off. But there are some giveaway from the judgment. By this judgment, it is not clear to Nigerians that Abure was restrained for the past 1 year because they said the judge vacated it. And by implication, I am going to congratulate our governorship candidate, because what we did was legal in the face of the law until that Wednesday. What Abure had been doing before then is illegal before the law. Therefore, the primary conducted where he picked Olumide Akpata is no longer void, because the court said, oh, from today, we'll remove the restraining order, which he had been lying about that he has a Supreme Court ruling. I'm even surprised Abure could be celebrating Court of Appeal judgment when he said, oh, I have Supreme Court judgment. It's only in Labour Party you see people celebrating Court of Appeal over Supreme Court when they know that's the final court. But another takeaway is that with what we have filed, the status quo remains. With what we have filed, status quo remains. We will continue with our Papa leadership. Let him continue with his own until when Supreme Court now decide about what happened in court. And also, sir, the judgment was not even what was before them. You see, what was before them was that the preliminary objection that was dismissed at the FCTI court was what was placed before them. But I am surprised. And let me tell Nigerians that there was a judgment Abure was parading in Benin where they told us that it is internal affairs of the party. But do you know that yesterday, in the same appeal court, they said it was not internal affairs of the party. Just to make sure everything, suit him. How could two different, judges of the same court, they ought to have, cross-checked their judgment. When somebody said, oh, it is not internal affairs of the party. The other one said it's internal affairs of the party. But they have forgotten that there was a ruling by the presidential court where they told Atiku in clear time that it is the business of APC how they choose their VP. All of us knew. When Abure Tinubu accuses Peter Obi of not being a member, the court told him to shut up. That it is the business, it is their business. But when you come to court of appeal, you will see 10 different court of appeal giving 10 different judgments. But they knew the right thing, but they will shy away from it. That go to Supreme Court, go and settle yourself. So that is what we saw yesterday, because they were talking about issue of membership, which was not before them. And the most annoying thing was that, do you know this court of appeal sat on a matter that was pending the FCT? They took jurisdiction on it and they dismissed that matter. Upon that is when we are going to petition the NJC, because they knew they have no right to sit on a matter that was pending. And this matter has gone to Supreme Court already. Even Supreme Court said, no, we cannot delve into the substance of that matter because it's still pending in the FCT High Court. But surprisingly, in Abuja on Wednesday, the Awada Keri happened and that matter was dismissed.
Very good, Dr. Arabambi. So on account of this web of contradictions, there are issues, definitely. Howard?
Well, it's unfortunate to watch the Labour Party air their dirty laundry and fight amongst themselves, just like the other parties have been doing, especially since such high hopes had been given for your party. But in moving forward, what are you prepared to do? You already said that reconciliation is off the table. So is it just going to be war, war, war? How does the party move forward if nothing is settled? It seems like there is no traction to actually clinch the little bit of power that the Labour Party needs to be a respected party amidst all of this brouhaha.
Well, people actually, mooted this idea of reconciliation, but 3 people are against it in our party. Number 1, the governor of Abure State is against it. Peter Obi is against it. Abure is against it, and they have one singular reason for that: 2027. Push the Yoruba out, push the Avota out, push the Jaw out. Let us find a way find a way, to now regionalize this Labour Party. As they are doing now, Abure is like a chicken, being given feed. They are coming after him because they are planning convention. That was why we find much of of execution. They are planning convention to remove Abure, so that they have their own chairman coming from Imo State and secretary coming from the north, which we are not going to agree. If you want to run as a president, you are not the one to tell party member that until when your kinsman is national chairman before you can have your way. So it was because the 3 of them stood against us and said they don't want any peace, let the war continue, we have what it takes to win you in the court. Fine. Even if they succeeded in the Supreme Court, we don't have any business with that. We would definitely have seek what do they call this thing with with the US or UK, and leave the country for them, so that they can continue in their perpetual a way of the way they think they can run administration of Nigeria. But we believe that Supreme Court will stand as a judgment. We believe, because the justices did what is not supposed of them to do. To do. On the peace aspect, if those 3 people are ready, in fact, of course, we will embrace peace. But because our Papa is a Yoruba man, you don't want to see him. Because sadly, our Acting Secretary is a full animal, you don't want to see him. The other judges, we don't want to see them. Our party cannot be regionalized. And this was why we are telling them now, Oti is a city governor, for God's sake. Even look at the way PDP manage their affairs. They remove secondaries. They remove, and this other man, the Senator Yoshayu. But the party did not die. Why should a national chairman of a party, when all of them saw this, you saw that this was a certified true copy that your chairman for the signature, ordinarily, unless Oti, the governor, Peter Obi, the president, and they ought to have even asked that don't let this matter even get to the public. Please step aside until when we now presented this one. I was shocked. In Anambra, Obi was celebrating. In Abia, governor was celebrating over a man that a court said we will not look at this matter. Just forget about it. You don't have a court that they forged their signature. Yeah. You said they don't have jurisdiction to discuss that matter. But how far that will go, we still don't know.
Dr. Arabambi, on account of all this web of contradictions and court cases, there's still an air of disunity, being projected out there. So what is the party trying to do on account of all these problems, in trying to instill confidence in the minds of supporters out there? There are those who, despite all of these issues, still support Labour. But to a large extent, how do you hold them and they don't place their allegiance elsewhere?
Well, I think the point lies, on all of us as leaders. They will say when you come to equity, you need to come with a clean hand. If they want peace, they know what to do. Abure must step aside. Because you can't be a judge in your own case. Look at what the president did 2 days ago. Some 4 directors were involved in just 1.2 billion fraud. He asked them to step aside.
But that just is still a lot of money.
Yeah, no. In Nigeria, 60,000 will say 6 months imprisonment, but 12 billion, you will pay fine, and you will go. We have seen it. Now, with that now, all we need to do is call a reconciliation meeting. But what would be the principle behind it? Oga, please, you have to step aside because you cannot be a judge in your own case. Even despite my flair to support women in all their matter, Betta Edu was asked to step aside until they said, well, they want to carry out the investigation. But don't forget, our obedience were all over the here, casting aspersion on them. We told them they should keep quiet because we in Labour Party, we are worse, than that. But you are not going to say anything because it's your own party. But you not go and put your mouth, in another people's issue. That one was asked to step aside. Nothing happened. In APC, Adam Oshomole, you know what happened? It was because of 100 million that Wike said, oh, I gave the party 100 million, but your national chairman refuses to disclose that. And Atiku said, please step aside. And the matter of that, but look at PDP today, they are trying to regroup so at least they can take over power from the APC. That was what we are supposed to do also. But in our own case, corruption in Labour Party is a legitimate business. Once it is done by their kinsmen, it's a legitimate business in Labour Party. If any man committed any crime, and you are not an Hausa man, you are not an Ijo, you are not a Yoruba man, my dear brother, you don't have any problem. But once it is us, there will be issue. So if you have a governor in a party that has not even deemed it fit to call the leadership of the party together, and there's something who has run over 3 times in different political parties and got it right, but what do you have? Once it is their own kinsmen that can speak language, they will say, oh, we are not bothered about these people. I think that is wrong. If they want peace, we are ready. But if they say we should continue with the court, we will continue. We don't care about that. We'll continue because though we don't have money, but at least we'll see have some people that will give us little support and encouragement. We are in the Supreme Court now, and all of them have to wait, including we have to wait, for the decision of the Supreme Court for us to know, the lesson of action. But we believe that judgment is perverse and very, very, irritating. For them to have even been delving into an affair that was not before them. And you will remember, sir, we have the same problem, not our party, but at least in Plateau State. You remember Court of Appeal removed 16 PDP lawmakers. They removed 2 House of Rep, 6 House of Rep, and they removed 2 senators. Look at what Supreme Court told them that. We have told you people, don't be, whatever decision Supreme Court has made should be, something that Court of Appeal rely on. But look at what happened. That even the 16 APC lawmaker, the governor refuses them entry, into the assembly. Our court should be careful. When we are giving judgment, let us be fair, and to think that at least some other people are outside there who are also watching. But like the one of today, on Wednesday, it's not going to stand anywhere. That's why we promptly within 48 hours, because he enjoyed that. The order for 48 hours, and we quickly make sure that, we cut it short by filing our motion for self-execution, which his lawyer had been served that yesterday.
Well, it's unfortunate that it has devolved to this, but once again, we'd like to thank you for joining us for this discussion. Abayomi Arabambi, the National Publicity Secretary for the Labour Party.